Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Book Notification Podcast, your go to source for this week's new book releases. Today, we're looking at the week from October 27th to November 2nd. New releases from Louise Penny and a new entry in the Clay Edison series highlight this week's new releases, but unfortunately, there is no way we can cover them all. Visit booknotification.com to explore the full list of this week's new books. You can also follow your favorite authors so you'll be the first to know when their next book is available. As always, we have 10 books to highlight with a little something for everybody. Let's get into it. Birdlane Island is the latest from #1 New York Times bestselling author B.C. Andrews. On a remote island off the coast of Maine, reclusive novelist Jaxon Lorraine lives with his fragile teenage daughter, Lisa, whose world has grown small since her mother's death. When Lisa falls for Jamie, a local fisherman's son, her father forbids the relationship, determined to shield her from further pain. Their secret meetings soon collide with the arrival of Kyle, a brooding artist whose presence stirs new emotions and tensions. As love, loss, and isolation intertwine, Lisa must decide whether the island that has long defied her life is a place of safety or a cage she must escape. Birdlane Island will release on October 28th. USA Today bestselling author K.L. Bone brings us a new paranormal romance with Immortal Hunger, Vampire's Allure. Elizabeth Riviere, heir to the powerful New Orleans witch coven, has always accepted her duty to lead, until she meets Arya Dubois, an ancient vampire with every reason to hate witches. What begins as a forbidden attraction at a glittering gala deepens into a bond that defies centuries of mistrust. But their love threatens to upend fragile alliances between coven and clan, drawing the attention of those who would see them destroyed. As rival forces plot to claim Elizabeth's power, she and Arya must confront old betrayals and decide whether their union can survive the magic and danger of New Orleans. Immortal Hunger, Vampire's Allure comes our way on October 31st. New York Times bestselling author Mary Burton brings a chilling novel of suspense with What She Saw. Cold case reporter Sloane Grayson returns to a remote Virginia town to investigate her mother's disappearance during a music festival 30 years earlier. Though a promoter was convicted of the murders, the victims' bodies were never found, and Sloane believes the truth was buried with them. As she reopens old wounds and questions those who'd rather forget, she begins to suspect that the real killer may still be free. But uncovering the past comes at a price, and someone in the mountains will do anything to keep their secrets hidden, even if it means silencing Sloane for good. See What She Saw on November 1st. Surplus Marines is the first book in the Phaethon Corp series by Jaxon Reed. Disgraced ex-Master Sergeant Bo Duckworth, dismissed for destroying a malfunctioning combat bot, drifts through the outer reaches of space searching for a purpose. Meanwhile, industrialist Tom Savage expands his company, Phaeton Solar, into the lawless frontier where miners and settlers face violence and exploitation without protection. To defend his people and assets, Tom assembles a private fighting force drawn from veterans like Duckworth. In a region where authority has collapsed and survival depends on strength, the creation of the Surplus Marines marks the beginning of a new kind of army, and a reckoning at the edge of humanity's reach. Surplus Marines comes out on October 30th. USA Today bestselling author Susan Lee is set to release Julia Song is Undateable. Julia Song, successful CEO of Starlight Cosmetics, seems to have it all, except a love life that satisfies her family's expectations. When her grandmother's illness prompts a desperate promise to find a husband, Julia agrees to go on 3 family-arranged dates. To prepare, she turns to Take Him, her childhood friend and former crush, now struggling with his own family pressures while caring for his ailing father. What begins as a coaching favor soon rekindles old feelings, forcing both to confront their insecurities and the expectations that define them. Sometimes love isn't found, it's rediscovered. Find Julia's Song is Undateable on October 28th. The Fix is the latest thriller from New York Times bestselling author Mia Sheridan. 11 years after surviving the brutal home invasion that killed her mother and sister, Cami Cortland is forced to relive her past when she receives a chilling call offering her a do-over. The message comes with a video of a boy locked in a barred room, a boy who looks eerily familiar. With only 4 days to find him, Cami teams up with Rex Lowe, a former classmate connected to her family's tragedy. As they chase leads through layers of deceit and buried trauma, Cami discovers that the key to saving the boy may lie in the darkest corners of her own past. The Fix will be released on November 1st. Arrival is the first book in the Mysterious Teacher series, a YA fantasy mystery thriller. USA Today bestselling authors Kailin and Kira G. bring a heartfelt thriller set in the 1950s. A stylish woman arrives at a Californian vineyard estate, ready to tutor a young pupil who is both gifted and reclusive. As the tutor stays in this opulent estate, something seems off. What ensues during the stay is an ordeal that pits wits against strength, odds against even, with twists and turns against a heartfelt story of love, suffering, and devotion. Arrival arrives on October 27th. Mage Steel is the first in a sci-fi cultivation series by Dominick Ruiz. 1,000 years after Earth's fall to otherworldly horrors, humanity survives among the stars, defended by the knights, mercenaries clad in rift-forged armor and trained in ancient combat arts. Cadet Cone dreams of joining their ranks until his transport is shot down, leaving him stranded on a rift-tainted planet filled with pirates, ruins, and monsters. With only a crippled knight for company and no way to call for help, Cone must fight to survive and uncover the planet's buried secrets. Each battle pushes him closer to a power that can either destroy him or make him into the legend he was meant to become. Mage Steel begins on October 30th. The Grumpy Firefighter is the first in the Whitetail Falls Fire Station series by Summer Rose. New to Whitetail Falls, a spirited bookstore owner hopes for a quiet life, until she clashes with Paul Hawkins, the town's strict, silver-haired fire chief. Her creative Halloween plans collide with his rules at every turn, turning safety meetings into sparks of another kind. But when a fire forces them together, and one reckless kiss breaks their defenses, attraction turns into something deeper. As Paul wrestles with ghosts from his past, and she brings light back into his world, both must decide if love can grow between fire and flame, or if fear will leave their hearts in ashes. The Grumpy Firefighter will release on October 29th. Finally, we have 640 to Montreal, a bloody thriller from Eva Jurczyk. Agatha boards a first-class train from Toronto to Montreal, expecting a peaceful day to focus on her new novel. But when the train stalls in the frozen wilderness and a passenger dies under mysterious circumstances, the journey turns deadly. Cut off from help and surrounded by strangers with secrets, Agatha must rely on her instincts as fear spreads through the stranded car. As tensions rise and the body count threatens to grow, what began as a quiet writing retreat becomes a desperate struggle for survival in the icy heart of Canada. Catch the 640 to Montreal on October 28th. That's our 10 books for this week. Until next time, you can check out booknotification.com. Book Notification offers an easy way to track your reading lists, follow your favorite authors, and never miss a new release. Our website is completely free to use, and it's packed with features to make your reading life easier. You can follow your favorite authors and get notified whenever they release new books. We send out an email every Tuesday with a list of fresh releases from the authors you love, but that's not all. You can track your reading progress, mark books as read, rate and review them, and even import your data from Goodreads, Calibre, Libby, and more. Want to discover something new? Check out Reader's Roulette for book recommendations, or use our personalized book release calendar to stay up to date with the latest titles. You can even tag books with custom labels, just like on Goodreads shelves, and get tailored recommendations for what to read next based on your current book. Whether you're looking for books in publication or want to see them listed in chronological order, we've got it covered. Plus, all of our authors are audited by real people, so you know the information is accurate. So why not give it a try and join the thousands of readers already using our site to stay on top of their reading game. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week with another 10 books.